ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Wednesday, July 17th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is open. We do that now at 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. We get coming up in about 5:15. Rob Gordon, he's a former basketball coach at Olympia High School. He's also the high school basketball coach for incoming Marshall freshman Kaiden White. So we're going to find out a little bit more about Kaiden coming up this hour. And then the rest of the way, we'll clear the line for you. Keep it open. The text line is going to be open from now until the end of the show at 304-396-TALK. Again, that's 304-396-8255. Last night, how many of you stayed around, watched probably the quickest All-Star game going? Since 1988, you hadn't seen one that quick. 2 hours and 28 minutes. That's my kind of All-Star game. Let's just go. And, of course, for those of you that are Pirates fans, you had a lot to look forward to because Paul Swann, the sensational rookie for the Pittsburgh Pirates, pitched a hitless first inning for the NL. Even reached 100 miles per hour twice. I mean, you could go with all your good stuff. You're not going to pitch a full game. That's the cool thing about the All-Star game is this isn't dialed down. These guys are going to go. You can go all out. You got one inning, go all out. Threw 100 miles per hour twice. 22 years old. Number 1 overall draft pick. And became the first rookie starter since 1995 and had the fewest games played for any player to make an all-star team. Hit 100 miles twice. These are grown men up there that have been playing this game for years, and Skeens just goes out there and hitless first inning. Good for him. He threw 11 of 16 pitches for strikes. He had 7 fastballs floating around in that 100 mile per hour range, just floating around there, just throwing heavy heat there. American League won, by the way, 5-3, 10th time in 11 years. I'm a National League guy, so this is embarrassing. I'm just not an American League guy, but yet here they are once again, 10th time in 11 years. That would really mean something if these two leagues didn't play each other, but there's so many crossover games now. It's not like the old days where the only time you would see players from the other league was either the World Series or the All-Star game. So I don't know if that really means much. But the game, again, played 2 hours, 28 minutes. Shortest All-Star game since 1998. Cleveland closer Emmanuel Clase struck out 2 in the 9th for the save. So the American League gets the win over the National League. Baseball resumes Friday. The Pirates will take on the Phillies. We'll have that game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Reds are going to be back in action against the Nationals, and then Cleveland Guardians will take on the San Diego Padres. But that was a fun All-Star game. Of course, the uniform selection was questionable. But that's the thing. With the American League and the National League, why don't you just let the teams wear, I don't know if you want to have them all in their uniforms, their regular uniforms. Maybe you could do something that's a little closer to the way it used to be. Let's not clown this thing up here. I mean, you're an all-star. You get to perform against the best of the best, and you got to look like a clown out there to do that. I was not a big fan of the uniforms. Of course, we didn't have any national anthem controversy, so that was good. No hot takes for me today. No controversy whatsoever other than the uniforms, and even then, you can't control that. So fun game. Obviously, we were, I think we were all rooting for the National League. The American League gets the victory. We also had Colecats baseball last night. How about the Colecats? They got the win over Elizabethton, 4-3. Jack Brooker, 3 innings pitched, no runs, 3 hits. Good game. Coldcats scored 4 runs in the 5th, and they got it done. Beat them, came back. Our producer, Ben Anderson, went to the game. Then he left, and then the Coldcats started to come back. So Ben's going to go to the game again tonight and then leave. I think that's been the problem. Ben, our intern, Ben Anderson's been the problem. Tommy Gregg talked about the team struggling with hitting in the game. Talked also about how the team is great at hitting on the road, but struggling at home.
Hey, a win's a win. Even though we didn't get a ball out of the infield to score any runs, a balk and 2 walks for scoring runs and then a ground ball. Knocked down, good hustle by him, not letting them turn 2. So, hey, look, we'll take it in. We can get it. I don't know what it is about this field. We go on the road, we hit, and we come back here, and we just have trouble for some reason here. It's a big park. I think the guys come back, and they try to swing harder and trying to hit it further. And, we go on the road with just nice line drives, and guys put good swings on balls. So, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Yeah, let's go for another win tomorrow.
And that's coming up tonight. We got the game for you at 6:50 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So Tommy talked about how the team lacked the energy during the game that it had when it was on the road versus Elizabethton. Tommy also talks about how Jack Brooker, how it wasn't his best performance, but he was still able to battle through and kind of keep the Coldcats in the game.
Yeah, they swung the bat a little bit better than they did back their place. I don't know, we just had more energy at their place too. I didn't see the same energy here tonight, but our pitching usually keeps us in the game. Jeff got through 5 innings. He didn't have his best stuff, Jeff Brooker, but he found a way to compete. A couple plays behind him a couple times, and all of a sudden he's getting out of innings. So sometimes you just competing is what you want to do, even though you don't feel good. And I could see him on the mound. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look confident, but kept working at it and kept trying to make him put it in play and played some defense behind it.
Tommy also talked about last night David Stitch, how he's been impressed with his confidence and how he's working on keeping Stitch under control emotionally during the games.
Well, don't jinx us. Yeah, right?
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. He's got good stuff. He's not scared. He comes in and just he throws the ball and expects to close it out. And that's what you want in a closer. He expects to do it. It's not like, oh, man, I hope I do it this time. He comes in and that's his job. He knows it. He's confident, trying to keep him better emotionally under control. He doesn't need to get hyped up. He just needs to do his job. And he's got such good stuff that he needs to just keep it in the zone and usually good things happen.
And finally, from last night, Tommy talks about 5 wins. 5 wins in the last 6 games. What has he seen change with this team during that stretch?
I just think sometimes you get to the end of the season, guys just loosen up a little bit. They're not trying as hard, you want to say, I don't know. There's just something about being loose and confident and relaxed, and guys are putting better swings on. Now, not tonight, but on the road trip, we had good at-bats the whole road trip. It just seems like we were locked in and hitting with runners in scoring position and doing the job and situation stuff. So we'll see if we can keep it going.
6:50 airtime tonight. Game 2, Elizabethton taking on your Coldcats. Game right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Believe it or not, the Coldcats have won 5 of the last 6, but they're still 15 of 21. 15 wins, 21 losses. They got a ways to go if they want to try to catch the leaders in the league. Running out of games. Top 2 teams in the East will face off. Top 2 teams in the West will face off for the right to play for the championship. We got a lot more to get into. Later on in the show, we're going to hear a little bit about how Randy Moss feels about being in the College Football Hall of Fame. Interesting take he had. He was asked about it recently, and we're going to hear what he had to say. Not enthused, not unhappy. He wasn't unhappy. He wasn't mad or anything when he was asked about it. I think the best way to describe it was he maybe hadn't put a lot of thought into it because he had to think about it for a second. But he was asked about what took so long getting him into the College Football Hall of Fame? And we've got a response on that. But coming up next, we're going to hear from Rob Gordon. He is the former basketball coach at Olympia High School. He's also the coach for incoming Marshall freshman Kaiden White, so he can tell us more about Kaiden. We'll do that when we continue, and then we'll get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Open text line throughout the show. This is The Drive at ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence dyne test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to the July 17th edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line opening up in a few minutes at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We want to welcome to the program now the former boys basketball coach at Olympia High School and the coach of incoming Marshall freshman Kaiden White. Mr. Rob Gordon joins us on the program. Rob, thanks for doing it today.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, we're excited. We've got Kaiden coming in. He's going to be starting hopefully soon for the Thundering Herd. I know he's got to work his way into that starting lineup, but we're excited to have him and Huntington playing for the Thundering Herd. What can you tell us about him? What kind of player did Marshall get?
Well, Marshall got a great kid, first of all. Unbelievable young man. Going to be low maintenance for you guys, in that he's not a big nightlife guy, so he's going to be really focused on what the job is at hand, and that's playing basketball and going to school. As far as his game, he is a very, very good knockdown shooter. He that's what he does best, is shoot the basketball. He's got a quick release, and he's got plenty of range, even at the college level.
What do you think it was about Marshall that made him decide this is going to be the right fit for him?
Well, I have to really hand it to Kaiden and his family because they were extremely patient through the whole process. Some people, let them down, and the process kind of just continued to play itself out. And when Coach called me and we had a nice discussion about Kaiden, I knew that when he got Kaiden on the phone, it was going to be the right fit. I just knew it, just because of the conversation that I had with Coach.
Joining us in the program, the former boys basketball coach at Olympia High School, Rob Gordon, and we're talking about Kaiden White, who will be incoming freshman for the Thundering Herd. He's pretty much used to being the big man on the team. He very successful, lot of accolades. Where is he at, you think, mentally for the next level? This is a big leap for anybody. You got to take that next step. Is he the type of guy that's going to, okay, I'm going to work my way up? Is he going to make an immediate impact? What's his kind of mindset when you go from being one of the top guys to, okay, I got to find my fit again?
Well, here's the thing about Kaiden. He just wants to be a guy who can contribute in any way, shape, or form. Coming out of our program at Olympia, he played with some very, very, very talented players. His junior year, we had Jizzle James, who's now at the University of Cincinnati, and doing really well there, and had a great freshman year there. And so Kaiden got to see Jizzle at his best, and was able to really learn a lot from him. And in his junior year, we won a national level tournament, the Sugar Bowl Classic, Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic in New Orleans. And then going into Kaiden's senior year, he was going to be a much bigger piece to the puzzle in terms of the big man on the team. His best friend was our starting point guard, and he left right before we started practice, which kind of threw us into a little bit of a spin because we had to find a point guard, and Kaiden stepped up, and so he played a little different role for us this past year because of losing that starting point guard. He threw himself right into that spot. And what it did was it really helped to develop his game even further than just being a shooter. He's almost to the point where he would be a combo guy. But he's very adept at handling the basketball. He's really crafty, playmaker. But the shooting is really the reason I think that Marshall wanted him.
Yeah, that was something that Coach Jackson said about him. He actually said he was a long, athletic combo guard with big-time playmaking and shooting ability. How do you think he's going to compete in the Sun Belt? What do you know about the league, and how do you think the Kaiden fits into that league?
I know a little bit about the league. I would say this. The one thing that Kaiden will need to do is he'll need to get stronger. And I told Coach Jackson, when he makes a commitment to that weight room, you've got a steal. You really have a steal. And that's the one area that making the jump to this next level, it's gonna be a hindrance to him at first, but once he buys in, it's going to pay dividends.
What do you think is going to be a hindrance for him? Is it just because he hasn't had that kind of opportunity for that, just to really just get into the weight room, or is there any other factors for that? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, his body just needs to fill out. He's an 18-year-old kid, and he's 6'4", long, lanky. But he needs to get strength on that body, and once he fills that body out, I mean, it's going to be really good. It's going to be a great situation for him.
So he's basically, if he stays the entire time at Marshall University, it's going to be fun to watch him develop.
Absolutely, this is a guy that he would be more of your 4-year type. He's not a one and done in any stretch of the imagination. He's a guy who is going to go in there. He wants to help any which way he can. He's a great kid, comes from a fantastic family, two-parent home. Mother's an educator. His grandfather was a principal in our area for several years. So you've really got a class guy coming into the program, and will develop along with the age that he gets on him.
Do you find that refreshing or surprising now, looking at the transfer portal, the way that kids just hop from school to school, that he has the potential to really turn into one of those long-term, well-developed, could end his career at Marshall, pretty high up the rankings and beloved, instead of taking that fast and easy, okay, what school I can take advantage of quickly?
Yeah, he's such a good kid and a good guy. I mentioned earlier, he's low maintenance. His ego is very, 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 very in check. He's got a lot of confidence in himself as a player, but he doesn't walk around beating his chest. He doesn't have to be. It's not about him. It's about winning, and he really exemplifies that.
Would you say, though, once he gets on the court, that toughness is there?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a guy who's taken charges for us and moments of games where it was a make or break, and he stepped up, takes the charge, and basically that's a winning play for us in a national level tournament this year. Because I failed to tell you that we won another national level tournament this year, this season with Kaiden at the point.
Also noticed that because 13th in Florida for charges drawn, that can mean anything, and those were timely. I'm sure those were key moments. I hope, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you need a play made, that guy's going to make the play. He's going to sacrifice his body. He's going to dive on the floor. He's going to take the charge. He has tremendous instincts off the ball. So he's going to get fingers on the ball. He's going to with his length the way it is, he is going to, I think, do well as time goes on and he gets acclimated to the college game. He's going to be a valuable piece.
Yeah, and the one thing that maybe stood out to me as well, because stats are one thing. You can look at all that. He's 19th in Florida for total assists, 31st for assists per game. 28th for three-pointers made, so he likes to shoot, but he also likes to find the open guy, it looks like.
Yeah, he sacrificed a little bit of the three-point shooting this year for being that he was the point guard, and he got us into a flow of the offense, and we had other guys, that were on the team. We got another kid that signed with the University of South Florida. And those guys played off of each other really well, but Kaiden kind of he took a little bit of a back seat to his shooting to be the guy for us to initiate stuff. So that just goes to show you what kind of a player, what kind of person he really is.
My guest is Rob Gordon. He's former boys basketball coach at Olympia High School. We're talking about Kaiden White. He's going to be with the Thundering Herd as a freshman this fall. What did Kaiden, or what did you know about Huntington, West Virginia, Marshall before Coach reached out?
My knowledge of Marshall is really twofold. One, Donnie Jones, and he has such strong Florida connections. I know he was at Marshall. And then I have a former assistant coach who is from that area. And so that's really what I know, and I know it's very cold. So Kaiden better be ready for a little bit of cold weather there.
I don't know. We've been hitting close to 100. I don't know how cold it's going to be. We would like some cold, that's for sure. But I'm sure it's even hotter in Florida.
Oh well, I mean it wasn't too hot. I was on the golf course today, so I enjoyed myself out there. I'm more talking about the winter cold for Kaiden, because he's a Florida boy. He just he'll adapt. He'll adapt, but he's got to get ready for it.
Don't get too many snowstorms in Florida during the winter months. So yeah, that's going to be a change for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't even know if the guy's ever seen snow.
That's a good question. Then I'll have to bring that up. Have you ever seen snow? Your coach is kind of curious about that. You mentioned Donnie Jones, and Donnie was a tremendous coach for the Thundering Herd. He was also a tremendous nemesis for the Thundering Herd. You know why? How much do you know of Donnie? Can you talk a little bit about that? You're just knowing by reputation and what he's done.
No, I wouldn't say I'm on a first name basis with Donnie, but I mean it's from a mutual respect. He really appreciated the job that I did at the high school level, and I in turn obviously respect the job that he's done everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, he was a tremendous coach for the Thundering Herd, and then he became number one nemesis for the Thundering Herd. But that was always fun to see him come back to the Henderson Center with a different team. I don't know when Marshall was playing UCF. Boy, those matchups were some of the best to watch.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yes,
My guest is the former boys basketball coach at Olympia High School, Rob Gordon. We're talking about Kaiden White. He's going to be an incoming freshman for the Thundering Herd. Anything else we need to know about Kaiden, maybe that we didn't touch on, that maybe you should highlight, or you would like to highlight about him?
Well, here's what I would say: your boosters are going to fall in love with him because he's such a nice kid, great smile, mild mannered, There's no ego. Boosters are going to fall in love with this guy, and it's going to be a real strong relationship, I think, if and when your boosters do take a little time to get to know him.
Well, Marshall fans are basketball crazy, so I think they're going to get to know him sooner than later. Our guest is Rob Gordon. He's Kaiden's former basketball coach over at Olympia High School. Rob, thanks for doing this. We really appreciate you spending a few minutes to give us a little bit more insight about Kaiden, and we're excited to see him on the court, hopefully sooner than later. Do you think you'll have a chance to come up and see him in a game, or at least try to get to a game where you can get to?
Yeah, I'd love to come up for a game. Now that I have recently retired from coaching basketball, I have a lot of time. So that's going to be on my list of things to do.
Looking forward to it, Rob. Hope you can come. Enjoy the cold if you come in the winter months, and I will ask Kaiden if he's ever seen snow. I'm kind of curious now.
Well, I've got a guy playing in North Dakota, so I have to go to Fargo this year. So I'm going to come to Marshall as well. That sounds like
a road trip. Fargo and Huntington. That actually sounds fun. Rob, thanks for joining us. I hope we get to see you soon, and good luck on the golf course. Since that's the retired life now, right?
Yes. I'm just so thankful that I get to still play with my dad, and he's still able to play. So I'm gonna take this time and enjoy it.
That's fantastic.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks, Rob. We appreciate you as well. That is Rob Gordon. He is the former coach of Kaiden White over at Olympia High School, enjoying that Florida weather. That's going to be a question for Kaiden. Have you seen the snow before, Kaiden? And do you have winter apparel? Hopefully they'll have talked to him. I don't know if that comes up during the week of welcome at Marshall University as far as what the winters will be like. No, I'm getting the no sign from our producer, Ben Anderson. No on the what to expect with the winter. Maybe that should be in the conversation. Hey, for those of you coming from those states where you've never seen snow, it's kind of hit or miss here. You could see, and one day you could have torrential downpours. You could have hot weather. You could have snowfall. You could have a breezy, calm day, all within 12 hours of each season. You'll get that in a single day here in Huntington. By the way, we're going to get your text in. It is National Hot Dog Day. I forgot to mention that earlier. That's a big day. National Hot Dog Day. Our producer, Ben Anderson, is excited. You didn't know it was National Hot Dog Day, Ben? Oh, shame on you. It's a national holiday, National Hot Dog Day. What is the best way to eat a hot dog? What's the appropriate way to eat a hot dog? And the correct answer is, and if you have an answer other than this, you're wrong. It is sauce, mustard, and slaw. That's it. That's the only way. It's the correct way and the only way. Sauce, mustard, and slaw. Any other way you eat a hot dog is incorrect. So National Hot Dog Day. If you have a different way to eat a hot dog, I want to hear what twisted ways you eat your hot dog. Randy Moss might not be exactly overwhelmed with the whole College Hall of Fame induction coming up later this year. He was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams. He talked about that. We'll hear what he had to say when we continue on today's edition of The Drive at ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Builders, renovators, and organizers. Rent-A-Can portable restrooms and roll-off dumpster rentals is who you need. Whether it's a construction site, home cleanup, disaster relief, we've got you covered. Portable restrooms for convenience. Roll-off dumpsters for waste. You fill it up, we'll haul it off. Fast delivery and easy pickup. Rent-A-Can portable restrooms and roll-off dumpster rentals. Rent-A-Can has the facilities you need. No job too big or too small for Rent-A-Can.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Farmers Feed, for all your feed, seed, and farming needs since 1991. Grandview Flooring Outlet and Window Treatments, Gallipolis and Middleport, Ohio. Loan Central, offering loans of all types, including mortgages. Apply by phone at any of their 6 locations.
Let the good times roll. Downtown Huntington's premier weekly music event is back. It's Mount West 9th Street Live, presented by New Trail, Garage Beer, Big Truck, The Beast, La Marca Prosecco, and Matua Sauvignon Blanc. This Friday, it's Xfinity High-Speed Internet Night with Souls of the Wounded. Music starts at 7 on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Gomart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy food and drinks from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station. Mark your calendar for Friday, August 2nd, when 9th Street is Dead, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center and the music of the Grateful Dead. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 16th. 9th Street Live is driven by Yes Chevy, Yes Ford every Friday night through Labor Day. 9th Street in Huntington between 3rd and 4th Avenues. Sponsored by Delta Hotels, Marshall OBGYN, Wendy's, Mountain Mindful, City of Huntington, Marshall University, Impact Media, Xfinity High-Speed Internet, One Way Septic and Rent-A-Can, and Kendrick Communications.
Buddy's All-American Barbecue is now in Milton. Enjoy all your favorite Buddy's classics like pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more on East Main Street in Milton. Buddy's All-American Barbecue, the home of great barbecue, ice-cold beer, and killer wings in Huntington and now in Milton.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We continue on with today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Hope you're enjoying this amazing National Hot Dog Day. Our text line is starting to fire up with that. The correct way to eat a hot dog nationally should be always sauce, slaw, and mustard. That's the correct way. Texter writes in and says, Paul, the egg dog from Hillbilly Hot Dogs sounds odd, but so good. It comes with scrambled eggs, cheese, ketchup, and jalapenos. My husband always thought it sounded gross until he had one, and he liked it. Ben, are you writing this down? You're going to have to head out to Hillbilly Hot Dogs now, and we're going to have to go get the egg dog. The egg dog from Hillbilly Hot Dogs. Okay, that's on the list. That sounds good. I appreciate the text. Thank you for that. I mean, any other hot dog recommendations? Am I looking at this wrong? Maybe I need to expand my horizons. What's going to be the best hot dog? I mean, after all, you can't go wrong with the slaw. You can't go wrong with the sauce, and you have to have the mustard on it. You have to have those 3 things. I mean, is that the typical West Virginia dog, or do we need to branch out and go get the egg dog? Ben, you're heading out to Hillbilly Hot Dogs. You're going to get us some hot dogs. Of course, I think, isn't it hot dog night at the Coldcats game tonight? And it's dollar dog night at the Coldcats game. I don't think they planned it this way. It is. It's dollar dog night at the Coldcats game. 6:50 is our airtime tonight here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. You all know Randy Moss is going to be in the College Football Hall of Fame soon. That's a pretty big deal. One of the best college football players. Doesn't matter what level you play at. Randy was going to be doing that to everybody. And so Randy's going to be inducted in December. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 2018. Now, you would think that you would get into the College Football Hall of Fame first because your career had been over longer. But he's in the Pro Hall of Fame first, inducted now December for the College Football Hall of Fame. And that was part of the conversation during an interview with Kay Adams on Up and Adams. Moss showed little excitement about the induction. He expressed some appreciation about it, but he also kind of noted the backward nature of the recognition. Here's Randy Moss on Up and Adams with Kay Adams talking about that induction.
This December, you're going to be inducted, yeah?
Yes.
Into the College Football Hall of Fame. Larry Fitzgerald, Julius Peppers, all of that. I mean, you got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2018. What took so long here? You don't want to talk about it? Is it bad? Oh, I don't know. I just saw the number. I was like, how are you not?
I don't.
No, we'll take it out of the end.
No, don't leave it on.
I literally was like, how are you not? I don't know much about the College Football Hall of Fame. But
I
was
don't
like,
know anything either about it, but I think when you do it backwards,
that's what I was like.
Am I supposed to be excited?
I didn't know what to ask. Oh, no. Randy, we're doing so well.
I'm very appreciative. And it goes back to the body of work. And I think that
25 touchdowns, 1,649 yards one year. I saw that and was like, huh?
That's just I think that's just a credit to the coaches and the players for getting out there helping me put those numbers up. So, I mean, yes, I put up some crazy numbers in college.
He did. He put up some crazy numbers in college. We could go over, and we lived them. We could go over that, but that's not the point here. Key in on what he said when he was asked about this, because he paused. And I watched the video. He wasn't looking at her like, how dare you ask me this? He just paused for a second because it was like, I don't know how much thought he's put into that. So he said, when you do it backwards, am I supposed to be excited? And then Awful Announcing jumped on it earlier today as well, and they kind of question maybe the priorities at Marshall University, the institutional priorities. You got a guy that's worthy of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. What takes so long? Now, here's how it works. You don't know much about this. Let me refresh you. Nominations may only be submitted by the current athletics director, the head football coach, or sports information director of a potential candidate's collegiate institution. Now, I'm going to scratch out sports information director from this chain of events because I can't see the sports information director going over the head of the head coach or the athletic director. I mean, the sports information director could, maybe on behalf of the university, can make that submission, but I don't see the SID going, hey, I'm just going to go rogue and I'm going to submit these guys for College Football Hall of Fame. So I'm going to leave that to athletic director and head coach. You got to be separated from your last playing day. We're talking about like a 10-year span. Okay, so we're talking 10-year span. So first things first, who was the coach for Marshall in 2007? Mark Snyder. You think Mark Snyder's dialing that up and saying, hey, let's nominate Randy? Was it because Mark didn't want to do it, or did Mark not want to go over the head of Bob Markham? Bob Markham was the athletic director in 2007. So you couldn't submit his name until 10 years out. And only an athletic director, current athletic director, head football coach or SID. Scratch the SID from that list. So why did Bob Markham never do this? And that's going to be questioned again because this came up today. So why did Bob Markham never do this? And then Mike Hamrick was the athletic director. So why did Mike Hamrick never want to do this? And Doc Holliday was the football coach, and he could have submitted it. Maybe Doc wanted to do it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Because, again, what kind of relationship did Randy Moss have with Bob Markham? What kind of relationship did Randy Moss have with Mike Hamrick? What kind of relationship would Randy Moss have had with Mark Snyder or Doc Holliday, for that matter? And so now you get to the situation where you got Charles Huff and Christian Spears. You give them the credit because it's this administration that made that happen. But when you do it backwards, he said, am I supposed to be excited? Personally, for me, I'm excited for anything that comes my way that I'm fortunate to achieve or to be honored with. Something like anything that comes my way. I am completely excited for it. I don't put like a ranking scale on it. Like, you're in the NFL you're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's exciting. You're in the College Football Hall of Fame. That's exciting. But he's making a point like, look, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be recognized, but at the same time, I can't walk away from that quote. When you do it backwards, am I supposed to be excited? And that's going to stick out for a while because what took so long is always going to be something we say, something we ask. That what took so long? What changed? What had to happen here? Why was there a holdup here? Why was there a holdup? What would it have benefited Marshall to not put this thing forward sooner? I mean, was Marshall looking for more money out of Randy or get him to be a little bit more involved? You know, use this, dangle this, like, hey, look, if you help us out here, we can do this for you. Yeah, maybe Randy didn't want to play those kind of games. Maybe Randy didn't have a good relationship with the institution. Maybe he's got a better relationship with Christian Spears and Charles Huff. I don't know, but that's from today, Up and Adams with Kay Adams. This isn't from like weeks ago or months ago. That's from today. When you do it backwards, am I supposed to be excited? And that's what Randy Moss said earlier today. Our text line's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Paul Swann, your host for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thoroughbred Express Car Wash is not just offering jobs, we're offering careers that come with awesome benefits. Now picture this: weekly pay, PTO, 401k, medical benefits, free car washes, retirement plans, bonuses, and uncapped commissions. At Thoroughbred Express, we're not just about cars, we're about taking care of our team. We want outgoing, friendly, and fun individuals who bring their A game every day. If you're personable and ready to shine, Thoroughbred Express Car Wash is the place for you. Apply now at thoroughbredexpress.com or drop by any of our locations to meet the team. Thoroughbred Express Car Wash. Your bright future starts here.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for all of us. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Final segment, today's edition of The Drive on this National Hot Dog Day. I'm Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Don't forget, we got Colecats baseball coming up tonight. Jason Toy and Woody Woodrum will have the call. The Colecats 6:50 airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I wonder what those guys think the perfect hot dog is for National Hot Dog Day. I mean, it is Dollar Dog Day at the ballpark. You'll have to put on your own toppings, I'm sure. But Dollar Dog Day at the hot dog stand for the Colecats on National Hot Dog Day. And we're trying to kind of narrow it down. I mean, I think the proper way to eat the hot dog is you got to have the sauce. Some people call it chili. They're wrong. It's sauce. No, it's not chili. It's sauce. Sauce, slaw, mustard. Text line says, Paul, don't forget the onions. Fair. Okay, the onions. I mean, we are talking, that is what? The standard definition of a West Virginia hot dog, right? I mean, West Virginia is not the birthplace of the hot dog, but it is the capital of the hot dog. Huntington and the rest of the state of West Virginia, like sometimes it's civil war over which part of the state has the best hot dog, but we all agree it's sauce, slaw, onions for some, and mustard. That's the perfect hot dog, right? Texter writes in and says, Paul, you put peanut butter on a hot dog. That just got a WTF vocally emitted from the mouth of our producer. Yeah, peanut butter. Have you not heard that, Ben? There are some strange individuals out there. They do put peanut butter on their hot dog. That is not the proper way to eat a hot dog. Absolutely not. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's the number to be a part of today's show, our text line. What do you think the best way to eat a hot dog is on this West Virginia? It should be National West Virginia Hot Dog Day. Let's just be honest. Peanut butter, that's got you bugged in there. Ben is just like, his face is scrunched up. He's never heard peanut butter. Texture says, I like it ballpark style. Just give me a hot dog and ketchup and mustard. I mean, okay, that's kind of plain. That's not really going out there. That's basically cookout hot dogs. You're cooking out in your backyard and you put the ketchup and mustard on and you call it a day. No. I like a little ketchup now and then. I mean, sometimes if it don't have slaw, then it's going to be sauce, ketchup, and mustard. But you got to go with the classic. Texter writes in and says, Paul, you got to put sauerkraut on the hot dog. I've had sauerkraut on the hot dog before. It is good. That's more like the brats. I like the brats more with the sauerkraut. Texter writes in and says, Paul, actual chili. Put the chili on the hot dog, not sauce, but chili. Talking about the beans and the meat. An actual chili sauce on the hot dog. That's the best way to do it. Not just the meat sauce. I'm okay with that. From our text line, straight ketchup is the only way. And possibly add celery salt. What? Also, I throw shredded cheese on mine, but I'm weird. No, that's kind of Cincinnati style a little bit. That's Cincinnati style. I like it. Straight ketchup is the only way, though. That was like it had to be a serious text. Straight ketchup is the only way to go. Possibly add celery salt. And also, one end to the other for eating. No other way is right. So you start one end to the other, just like you don't go alternate. Okay. If only Joey Chestnut was here, we could ask him how you properly eat a hot dog. He would be the world authority on that. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I don't think this debate will be settled anytime soon. I want to try that hillbilly hot dog that the texter wrote in. She said it's the egg dog. So we're going to send Ben out there tomorrow, right before he comes in. He's just going to go out to Hillbilly Hot Dogs and get us a few egg dogs, which the texter said they come with scrambled eggs, cheese, ketchup, and jalapenos. And the thing is with that, I would eat a scrambled egg with cheese, ketchup, and jalapeno already. Now, you're putting it on a hot dog? I'm completely and utterly interested in this. All right, we're getting a couple more texts. We might have to go over some of these tomorrow. Thanks to our guest today for joining us. We spoke with Rob Gordon. He was the basketball coach at Olympia High School when Kaiden White, Marshall incoming freshman, was there. Texter writes in and says, I eat my hot dog just with cheese and sauce. Okay, that's not bad. I still think mine's the right way.
Retransmitting on Glorious FM on 94.1 W227BS Huntington. This is 930 WRVC Huntington, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting.